Hello students, welcome to my channel CM Hub, where you, me and chemistry connect with each other. This platform is a gateway for mastering chemistry. We have discussed few questions on stoichiometry chapter in the previous episodes. In this episode, we will discuss a question on chemical bonding. This is a previous question in NEET 2023, where you are asked to find out the geometry or the shape of a given molecule. It's a match the following question. Like we have done in the earlier episodes, let us first understand the concepts behind it and then solve the question. Now the question is given as follows. You are given list 1, where you are given molecules, and list 2 you are given geometry. To solve these questions, you need to know 1. Hybridization, 2. You need to understand the Vsepr theory concepts of electron pairs classified as bond pairs and lone pairs, and from it deduct the shape. If you are perfect with Vsepr concepts, you don't even require hybridization, because hybridization might tell you the number of orbitals involved in the hybridization, but it may not give you the exact shape. It might give you the geometry but not the shape. For example, let us take H2O. The central atom oxygen is sp3 hybridization. We expect the shape to be tetrahedral because sp3 hybridization is a tetrahedral hybridization. But the observed shape of water molecule is V shape. Ammonia, the central atom nitrogen is sp3 hybridized. We expect it again to be tetrahedral shape, but the observed shape is trigonal pyramidal. Knowing hybridization might give you the geometry but not the actual shape. To know the actual shape, we need to have a knowledge of the electron pairs classified as bond pairs and lone pairs, and then calculate the number of electron pairs present around the central atom. From it, deduct the shape of the molecule. How do we go for electron pairs? Suppose C is a central atom, and this central atom is bound to element 1, element 2, element 3 and element 4. Assume that with each of the element it shares an electron pair. With first electron pair, second electron pair, third electron pair, fourth electron pair. Now this electron pair which is shared is referred to as bond pair. A bond pair represents a shared pair of electrons. Now, how many bond pairs can an atom share with another atom? The maximum number of bond pairs that an atom can share with a neighboring atom is 3 bond pairs. Again, in this, you need to classify these bond pairs. If only one electron pair is shared between two atoms A and B, then we call this as a sigma bond pair. Suppose if two electron pairs are shared between the two atoms A and B, one electron pair will be called as the sigma bond pair, the second electron will be called as pi bond pair. To know the geometry of the molecule, you need to have a knowledge of only the sigma bond pairs but not the pi bond pairs. If 3 electron pairs are shared between the two atoms A and B, one will be called as sigma bond pair, the remaining 2 will be called as the pi bond pairs. Whenever there is more than one bond pair between two atoms, consider only the sigma bond pair to understand the geometry of the molecule. Sir, we understood what bond pairs are. What is a lone pair, sir? Suppose the central atom is bound to element E1, element E2 and element E3. But there is one electron pair which resides only on the central atom and it is not shared with any neighboring atom. Then we call that as a lone pair of electron. A lone pair of electron is a non-bonded electron pair. It is a non-bonded electron pair. It is these electron pairs around the central atom which decide the shape of the molecule. Let us look at how we try to understand the shape of the molecule. Now we know electron pairs are classified into two types. one is bond pair, the other one is lone pair, and based on it we will look at the shape of the molecule. If there are two electron pairs around the central atom and both the electron pairs are bond pairs, there is no lone pair, then the shape will be linear. If there are three electron pairs and the three are bond pairs, zero lone pairs, then the shape is trigonal planar. It's a planar shaped molecule. If there are three electron pairs, two are bond pairs, one is lone pair, then it is V shape, or we call it as angular shape. If there are four electron pairs and all the four are bond pairs, zero lone pairs, then the shape is tetrahedral. If there are four electron pairs, three bond pairs, one lone pair, then the shape is trigonal pyramidal, or simply pyramidal shape. If there are four electron pairs, two are bond pairs, two are lone pairs, then we call it as V shape or angular shape. Look at this. The shapes might be same, but the number of electron pairs are different, and it is these electron pairs which help us to know the hybridization. If there are two electron pairs in total around the central atom, it is sp hybridization. If there are three electron pairs around the central atom in total, then it is sp2 hybridization. If there are four electron pairs around the central atom, including bond pairs and lone pairs, then the hybridization is sp3. Now again, let us look at electron pairs, bond pairs, lone pairs, and the shape. 5 electron pairs, 5 bond pairs, 0 lone pair, then it is trigonal bipyramidal. 5 electron pairs, 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, then it is a seesaw shape. 5 electron pairs, 3 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs, it is T shape. 5 electron pairs, 2 bond pairs, 3 lone pairs, the shape is linear. 6 electron pairs, 6 bond pairs, 0 lone pairs, octahedral, also called as square bipyramidal. 6 electron pairs, 5 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, then it is square pyramidal. 6 electron pairs, 4 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs, then it is square planar. 7 electron pairs, 7 bond pairs, 0 lone pairs, then it is pentagonal bipyramidal. 7 electron pairs, 6 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, it is distorted octahedral. These electron pairs, called as bond pairs and lone pairs, collectively will help us to understand the shape of the molecule. They are surrounding the central atom. How to find the number of electron pairs around the central atom, both bond pairs as well as lone pairs? Now when I say bond pairs, I mean only sigma bond pairs. Now count the number of electrons in valency shell of central atom and then add the number of electrons contributed by the neighboring atom to form a bond. For example, let us take the case of methane. The central atom carbon valence electrons are 4. Each hydrogen contributes 1 electron to the bond formation. So 4 hydrogens are there, 4 plus 4, 8 electrons are there. Arrange these 8 electrons around the central atom in such a way that they form a shared pair of electron. So first 1 electron pair each with each one of them. So now 4 electron pairs are surrounding the central atom and all of them represent bond pairs. So there are 4 bond pairs. How many lone pairs are there? 0 lone pairs are there. Go to the tabular column. The tabular column, 4 electron pairs, all the 4 are bond pairs, 0 lone pairs. The shape is tetrahedral. So what is the shape of methane? The shape of methane is tetrahedral. Now let us take the case of ammonia. Ammonia central atom nitrogen has 5 valence electron. Each hydrogen contributes 1 electron each. 3 hydrogens are there, 8 electrons. So around nitrogen, 1 electron pair with 1 hydrogen, second with another hydrogen, third with third hydrogen. Now there are no more elements. Arrange the fourth one as an non-bonding electron pair. So this is bond pair, this is bond pair, this is bond pair. You have 3 bond pairs plus 1 lone pair. Total electron pairs are 4. Hybridization will be sp3 and 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. Go to the tabular column. 4 electron pairs, 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, trigonal pyramidal. Now let us take the case of sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide, central atom sulfur contributes 6 electrons. Each oxygen forms 2 bonds. There are 3 oxygens, so you get 6 electrons from it. So total are 12 electrons. Now 12 electrons should be arranged around the sulfur. So I take sulfur. First share 1 electron pair each. 6 electrons are over. Out of 12, 6 are over. Balance you have to arrange. So 2 more here, 2 more here, 2 more here. So all the 12 electrons now are bond pairs. But there are 2 electron pairs here, of which one is sigma bond pair, another one is pi bond pair. One is sigma bond pair, the other one is pi bond pair. Consider only the sigma bond pairs. So one sigma bond pair from here, another sigma bond pair from here, another sigma bond pair from here. So all the 3 bond pairs are sigma bond pairs. Number of lone pairs are 0. So 3 electron pairs in total implies it is sp2 hybridization. Go to the tabular column. What does the tabular column state? 3 electron pairs, 3 bond pairs, 0 lone pairs. The shape is trigonal planar. Take one more example, SO2. 6 electrons from the central sulfur, 2 electrons from oxygen, 2 into 2, 4 electrons. So 10 electrons are there. So I arrange sulfur and oxygen. There are only 2 oxygens here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 will become a lone pair. So out of these 2 electron pairs, there is 1 sigma bond pair from here, 1 sigma bond pair from here and 1 lone pair from here. So there are 2 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. Total electron pairs are 3. 3 electron pairs implies hybridization is sp2. Shape is, go with the tabular column, 3 electron pairs, 2 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, V shape or angular shape. Now taking this as the reference, let us look at the question. Ammonia. Let us take the first one, ammonia. 5 plus 3, 8. We have already done this. 5 plus 3, 8. So around nitrogen, 1 with hydrogen, second with another hydrogen, third one with this, fourth one is a lone pair. So you have 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, 4 electron pairs. It is trigonal pyramidal. Next one is BrF5. Bromine central atom, it belongs to 7th group. Valence electrons are 7. Fluorine contributes 5 electrons. 7 plus 5, 12 electrons. So around bromine, 1 fluorine, 2nd fluorine, 3rd fluorine, 4th fluorine, 5th fluorine. 1 electron pair, 2nd electron pair, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Now out of 12, 10 electrons are over. Remaining 2 will go as lone pair. So you have 5 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. What is the tabular column? Total electron pairs are 6. 5 are bond pair, 1 is lone pair. The shape is square pyramidal. The shape is square pyramidal. So A corresponds to 1, B corresponds to 4. Let us look at the next one, XeF4. Xenon has 8 electrons in the valency shell because it belongs to 0 group or the 18th group, plus 4 electrons from this 12. So around xenon, 1 fluorine, 2nd fluorine, 3rd fluorine, 4th fluorine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 electron pairs, 2 become lone pair. So there are 4 bond pairs and then 2 lone pair. Total electron pairs are 6. go with the tabular column. 6 electron pairs, 4 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs, square planar. So that means XeF4 is square planar. So leftover SF6 will be octahedral. Want to cross check? You can cross check. SF6. 6 from this, 6 from this, 12. So sulfur, first fluorine, second fluorine, third fluorine, fourth fluorine, fifth fluorine, sixth fluorine, 1 electron pair, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. All the 12 electrons are arranged as 6 bond pairs, 0 lone pairs. Total electron pairs are 6. Total electron pairs are 6, and all the 6 are bond pairs, 0 lone pairs, octahedral. So what will be the answer? A is 1, B is 4, C is 2, and D is 3. A1, only one option is present here for A1, so I will directly tick this answer. I will only look at the answer 3 and I will discard all the other options. There are different ways in which hybridization can be found. But to understand the shape of the molecules, we compulsorily need to know the number of electron pairs around the central atom, that is lone pairs and the bond pairs. And it is these electron pairs around the central atom which decide the shape of the molecule. So I am not discussing anything about hybridization here. We will come out with hybridization and other interesting questions and concepts in the future episodes. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.